And we're back. This is Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here yet again on CCW TV. Alright, so we looked at Marvel, we looked at DC, we looked at Boom, we looked at Dark Horse. Let's jump back into DC and the Blackest Night event with Adventure Comics number 4 by Jeff Johns, Jerry Ordway, and Bob Wiacek. I'm sorry, Sterling Gates is also a co-writer on this. So it was really cool for me to see Ordway and Wiacek together again. Bob Wiacek is actually one of my favorite inkers from the classic, from the old school Marvel days. What is happening here? In Adventure Comics number 4, we have the return of Superboy Prime.
Everybody's favorite Superboy.
Everyone's favorite Superboy. Superboy Prime, he lives in our world, I guess?
Yes.
Like,
Earth Prime is our world.
Our world.
And it opens up with him reading the comic that we are reading right now.
Right here. And we learn on our world that everything that's going to happen in the other universes are revealed in comic books. Mm-hmm. So in this, Superboy Prime is reading comic books, and he's seeing his own stories from Final Crisis and the Legion of Three Worlds and so on. He's reading the comic books and finding out what what happened to him or what could have happened to him. And this is where it lost me. I'm sorry. The Black Lanterns enter Earth Prime.
Just Alexander Luthor. Well, he brings a bunch of them, yeah. But Alexander Luthor has that power where he can...
Oh, that's right. He can go through different dimensions. Yeah. Like he's like a Harbinger was. But then here's the other thing too. The Legion of Superheroes in Earth Prime. So we're gonna.
Yeah, that's in the future. Yeah, there's a Legion. Well, Jeff Johns established that in Legion of Three Worlds.
I never read that.
There is a Legion.
Because the book finally came out at the end, and I never even got around to buying it.
And they actually have the copy of Three Worlds, the last issue, to see what happens.
So what they try to do here is...
this book is so meta.
Yeah, it is. It's incredibly meta. I'm sorry, it's too meta.
Nah, it can never be too meta.
Too friggin' meta. Because, see, here's my problem with when you try to do superheroes in the real world. Superheroes in the real world are ridiculous. And the only person who even came close to making it work was Alan Moore in Watchmen. That's it. He's the only one who even came close.
Are you kidding me? Kick-Ass. Jesus. How can you forget that?
Oh,
that
God, I
superheroes
forgot.
in the real world.
I forgot. Yeah, that's...
Yeesh.
Oh. Here, Superboy Prime, and I didn't read the last issue of Legion of Three Worlds, because, again, it took, I don't know how long to come out. It came out long after Final Crisis was over. At that point, I lost interest. Superboy Prime is living on our Earth, and he's, kind of loopy. Because his parents are scared of him.
Yeah, because his parents, when he came back, they were actually reading the Legion of Three Worlds comics, so they know what a
badass he is.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
So that's why they're actually scared of him.
But see, that's what... Because that's the same thing that J. Michael Straczynski did in Supreme Power with the Mark Milton character, Hyperion, that he was being raised by the government, and he was raised by two people who were pretending to be his parents, who were deathly afraid of him. So I'm like, see, I remember that being done in old Supreme Power, and actually was done better. Because, again, I can't stand this Superboy Prime character. I really can't.
I like him a lot better than that Connor Kent. I'll tell you that much right now. I'm probably getting a lot of shit for that, but...
No, see, I like Connor Kent. And isn't this the same Superboy from the Kurt Busiek, Stuart Immonen, Elseworlds miniseries from a few years, Secret Identity? Isn't that the same kid? His name was Clark Kent.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
I just don't like
well,
that.
Well, but Superboy Prime has been around for a long time, though.
I know.
But yeah, I don't know where that miniseries falls in. That's a good question. Because I do remember that coming out, but I never draw the corollary between if that was supposed to be his origin story or not. I don't know.
Because, I mean, I've never...
I bet you someone out there knows.
Okay, well, let me know, because, I just... they even make a joke about it in the comic book that nobody likes him. Mm-hmm. I don't like him. I really don't like the character. He's whiny. He's self-obsessed. He tries to be all self-righteous, but he's horrible about it. And again, it tries to get all meta, but, I mean, the jokes have been... This is, to me, like Spaceballs. The jokes have been done, like when I saw Spaceballs, first the movie came out 10 years too late, and it did all the jokes that had already been done in Mad Magazine. Guy going into a comic shop, go about the computer, making joke about people on the computer complaining about comic books. I'm sorry, that's been done on The Simpsons time and time again.
Simpsons did it. Did you ever see that South Park episode where The Simpsons did it? where Butters was trying to come up when he was Professor Chaos. He was trying to think of a way to because Butters is Dr. Chaos. He's a supervillain. It's like Dr. Doom.
Right.
And he wanted to block the sun out from.
That's
South Park.
right. Yeah.
His little assistant was like, Simpsons did it. So he keeps on trying to come up with a dastardly thing to do to the town, and then Simpsons did it, and that's the whole joke. Is that the Simpsons has done everything.
There you go. That works. If someone had done that here, it would have worked for me. I did like this. I like the shout-out that they gave to Detective Comics in here. Mm-hmm. Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams. Yeah! Finally! I think Jeff Johns has been reading I've been watching our show, and he just said, we got to do, he's got to get on board with us.
Yeah, and another thing that I mentioned to him is like to draw, to talk about Mark Millar again is like when, Mark Millar references a comic book in his comic book, it's his own comic book because he likes to stroke himself. But at least, Jeff Johns is talking about somebody else's book that's a fucking great book. So
yeah, which is pretty cool.
He wins there.
It is pretty cool. I did love the artwork again. Seeing Jerry Ordway on pencils again, and again, Wyatt Check does this beautiful, just clean work over his pencils. This is just great old school type artwork. Mm-hmm. But the Black Lanterns don't seem as creepy, as they do in other books. They're there, but they seem pretty.
Well, they show up in the last page.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, even when he's fighting the Alexander Luthor, the Black Lantern looks like just a supervillain. It doesn't look like a creepy zombie, from...
Well, you can blame Jerry Ordway for that.
It just goes, while I enjoy the artwork, there's certain things that some artists are better at rendering than others. And on top of it, talking about being meta, the action figure references, the comic shop.
I think this is Jeff Johns' love letter to the fanboys he hates out there. The irony of that statement, because he talks about the computer and the internet and how all the fanboys get their rage out on this little box.
Angry box.
And I think that's
I don't know. That is the one good joke. Superboy is reading on the internet, and the Black Lantern looks at him. What does he see? Rage.
See, now you can't tell me you don't like this book after everything that you've just said.
I'm just saying it's just too friggin' meta. It didn't have to be that meta.
I think it did, and it worked.
And Superboy Prime as a character in general, I didn't really care for. So, but hey,
by Michael Bendis, do you want to repeat that line any more times in this 10-minute segment?
Can I tell you something? Spider Kid has a way better costume and a way better origin. Sorry, Aranya. Better costume, better origin, better character. Straight up. Superboy Prime, he's a walking STD farm. That's what he is.
All right.
So, he liked it. I thought it was okay. It had its moments, but I didn't think it was great. I don't think crazy about it. So
I never said it was the best thing since sliced bread. I just said I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there you go. Just like I didn't say that Dark Avengers was the best thing since sliced bread.
I have a feeling that you like Dark Avengers more than I like this issue.
Nah, I didn't enjoy it that much. I didn't enjoy Jab that much, So. Reading Dark Avengers is kind of like when you go. It was like when you go to the dentist and he drills your teeth, and it doesn't hurt nearly as much as you thought it would, and you were like, "Oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be." That's what Reading Dark Avengers was like.
And then you go home and you find out he gave you AIDS. That's what reading in Brian McManus book is all about. That's
Ow.
exactly, yeah.
Ow.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Too soon, Africa?
Yeah.
Sorry.
When we come back, we'll have last rants. We'll see you then.